we look at British PropTech as an example on how things should be done in order to achieve the higher levels of digitization of construction and real estate industries. However, the process of high achievement is far from smooth, and it's interesting to take from a lot from their expertise on how they have achieved such great results. And we will look at this process from a different standpoint. Now we welcome on board Sammy Pahal, the Managing Director of the UK PropTech Association, and we will have the ecosystem player viewpoint. Following her keynote, we will have the viewpoint of the building research establishment with Alison Mitchell. Welcome, Sammy. I give you the floor just to not take any more time from your keynote. Welcome.
Thanks very much, Sylvia, and hi everyone. I'm delighted to be here today to present to you the opportunities in PropTech in the UK and barriers to adoption. I think I probably could go on for quite a while because obviously the PropTech industry is large and vast. With the 20 minutes that I have, I'll be focusing on a few key areas that I believe will have the most impact on the UK as a nation and where I believe the focus should be. I'll be talking specifically about 3 challenges that the UK faces and how PropTech can help overcome those challenges. So just to provide a bit of context first, this is the UK PropTech scene in numbers. So the UK has one of the largest hubs with 771 companies and counting. This is approximately 10% of the global market and is potentially worth about £6 billion. The majority, as you can see, are based in London, as you would expect, but there are many companies dotted around other cities across the UK as well. So what does the UK PropTech industry look like? What markets do they serve and what aspect of the property industry are they focused on? Similar to Idris's presentation on the European market, the majority of the PropTechs in the UK are focused on property management. So this involves helping property managers and owners their workflows, optimize their buildings, and engage better with their tenants. This has become a particular important area over the last 6 and 7 months with COVID-19, meaning that we can't be in the office. It's become really important for landlords and property managers to communicate their plans with their tenants and occupiers. You can also see here that actually, whilst the office space is a huge focus, the majority of the PropTechs in the UK are faced in the residential market, with 58% of companies in this space. The majority of companies are also focused on B2B as well. So why is the UK a leader in PropTech? So I think there are a number of reasons. But one in particular I see as an important aspect of the PropTech industry is around location and geospatial data. The UK has Ordnance Survey, which is the nation's mapping and data agency, and it's one of the oldest in the world. Ordnance Survey are 229 years old and excel in data capture and management. Location data plays a huge part in underpinning a number of the technology solutions in the built environment, and Ordnance Survey have recently released a huge amount of open data as well, one of which is around the unique property reference number. URN is a golden thread for property data and enables the property industry to unlock insights and make more data-driven decisions. The PropTech industry has really pushed the government to release, to release more data, and as such, the government have announced a new geospatial strategy, which will be implemented over the next 5 years. This is expected to provide further opportunities for the PropTech industry. In addition, the UK has a very strong connected ecosystem. At the UK PropTech Association, we have over 850 members across PropTech, property and tech investment. And we collaborate with key parts of the ecosystem to provide our members with the support that they need and represent their interests within government as well. We have a number of different accelerators and incubators that support businesses to scale and grow, and a number of investors that are actively investing in UK companies. In 2018 alone, the amount of investment coming into the UK was almost £1 billion. But as I said, the UK also faces a number of serious challenges, and PropTech has an opportunity to help the UK overcome these. The shortage in housing in the UK and rising prices affect 8.4 million people in England. That's 1 in 7 people. 8.4 million people are living in overcrowded homes with parents or ex-partners, unsuitable homes, or worse, are homeless or at risk of homelessness. The reasons for this crisis are multifaceted and complex, but for one, there are more people living in urban cities than ever before, which creates a big variation in prices across the country. To tackle the crisis, we need to build 340,000 new homes each year, including 145,000 new social homes. This has never been done before, so requires drastic change and calls for innovation. So how does this present opportunities for PropTech, and how can PropTech help the UK reach this challenging target? There's of course no single silver bullet, but ultimately we need to build a lot faster and a lot smarter, whilst also considering our environmental responsibility. Here are just 3 ways PropTech and Contech is helping to speed up construction. Thanks to technology and innovation, more methods of construction, such as modular, can produce houses up to 30% quicker than traditional building practices. The components are created in a controlled factory environment, which means it's easier to assemble on site, but also it means that operations can continue 24/7 and are generally unaffected by weather and environmental delays. In addition, the controlled environment makes it safer in terms of reducing spread of viruses such as COVID-19. So this is becoming an even popular area. And actually the UK government has set a target of roughly 100,000 new homes with modular construction. At a time when large-scale public borrowing will see an astonishing fall in public finances, I believe there will be renewed and increased pressure for the government to consider new and innovative sources of funding, including P2P property lending, to tackle the housing shortage. As you can see here, 42% of SME builders said the biggest constraint to building more homes is funding. Due to the nimble size of P2P lending platforms and the lack of heavy legacy processes, alternative lenders are able to move faster at a time when traditional lenders are being inundated with loan requests. And lastly, digitised planning is an area of huge focus. The government have recently announced that they will be reforming the planning process in the UK, and PropTech will play a significant role in digitising the process. Robert Jenrick has said that house prices have risen since 2000 and suggests that the complicit and slow planning system has been a barrier to building homes that are affordable in places that we want to live. There'll be huge opportunities for PropTech companies to get involved, particularly as all local authorities will need to digitise their processes. These 3 areas of growth, which will really help the UK to reach the 340,000 target and ultimately provide more affordable homes for the UK citizens. The UK government recognises this and are opening the doors for PropTech in this area. Secondly, UK has a goal to net zero along with many European countries. This is a challenge that is not unique to the UK at all. Climate change affects the whole world, and each and every industry has a responsibility to tackle this challenge. While the UK makes up less than 1% of global emissions, the UK is a party to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, and in June 2019, Parliament passed legislation requiring the government to reduce the UK's net emissions of greenhouse gases by 100% relative to 1990 levels by 2050, so in the next 30 years. In terms of the property industry, as we know, around 40% of total carbon emissions comes from buildings and approximately 23% comes from our homes. To reduce the carbon emissions, we need to think about innovating, we need to think about technology. We need to make improvements across the complete property lifecycle, from design, construction and building management. The Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy estimates that around half of all UK emissions can be influenced by construction. This clearly has a significant possible positive impact and will be critical in helping the UK achieve its goal of net zero by 2050 in the next 30 years. I spoke previously about the inefficiency of traditional construction methods and the waste produced on sites. To truly understand the opportunities for efficiency gains and the opportunities to reduce environmental impact, data is key. And this is an area where construction technology in particular can provide support by easing the data burden and providing more proactive and granular data. In the UK, companies such as Qflow are enabling monitoring of waste and material data on sites and enabling more informed decisions. We also know that 11% of carbon emissions arise from the energy used to produce buildings and construction materials. In the UK, companies like Converge has enabled leading construction companies to drive efficiencies by shortening concrete cycles with real-time strength data generated from sensors embedded on the site. It takes manual monitoring, lab tests, waiting games and overpouring to raise buildings today. Another opportunity to lower carbon emissions in the built environment is to minimise the need to demolish buildings altogether. We often talk about flexible design and space utilisation in relation to meeting new customer demands. However, there's also a benefit for the environment as well. Advancements in technology has not only led to greater innovation, but we also have a lot more data to be able to effectively redesign and repurpose buildings. The need for data-driven design has become even more important with COVID-19 impacting the use of offices and retail over the last 7 months. This creates an opportunity and a gap in the market for innovative PropTech solutions. Just a few companies that are plugging this gap include IncubeSpace, who offer solutions for large real estate assets to create smart, flexible and efficient spaces in days, not months, and Sook, who provide adaptable retail space which you can book by the hour and personalise to the client. The third area is around optimising building management. This is an area where we also see huge strides in reducing carbon emissions in building analytics software. We know that heating, ventilation and air conditioning systems use more than 60% of a building's total energy consumption on average, and up to a third of that energy is often wasted due to malfunctions. On the commercial sector, companies such as Demand Logic and CIM provide data-driven insights to maximise operational efficiency and rapidly reduce energy consumption. On the residential side, companies such as Switchy provide a device that can be installed in every property and reduce the carbon emissions of those properties by over 10% on average. The comfort of a building, whether it's an office or your home, also has been found to have an impact on your health and well-being and productivity, which brings me on to the final challenge. Productivity is a serious issue within the UK. We live in a world now where we are busier than ever, we're more stressed and constantly stimulated by data and information that's available at our fingertips, but are we more productive? In recent years, there's been steady, unspectacular economic growth, and pre-COVID employment rates rose to record levels, but average wages adjusted for inflation are no higher than in 2007 before the crisis. In countries where there's a large investment in technology and R&D, there seems to be higher economic growth and productivity. So the UK needs to digitise and needs to innovate. In every industry, there are productivity gains to be had. In the property industry in particular, our workplace can be designed in a way to help us become more productive. Technology can be used to eliminate or automate certain tasks, and processes can be sped up to improve efficiency for all stakeholders involved. These are just three key areas for the UK which have the potential to have a positive impact on productivity through the use of PropTech. The emergence of digital technology is driving the creation of more efficient, sustainable, and productive workplaces. Seamless and integrated experience for the individual navigating around the building. Smart technologies are rapidly transforming the modern office. In regards to property management, this is one area which currently involves many manual tasks, processes, and multiple stakeholders to manage, from the tenant or occupier to building contractors and owners. Through the use of PropTech, the role of property management can be transformed. Artificial intelligence can automate communication between various stakeholders and answer questions, and automatically send emails or save money on utility bills and processes. Thirdly, there are many areas within the property industry that are ripe for disruption due to the inefficient processes. The buying and selling process is one of these. It's currently one of the most frustrating experiences for the consumer and one of the most inefficient processes for all stakeholders involved. It often takes, on average, 6 months to transact, but with technology, we can digitise over 80% of this and actually speed up the process, reducing it from 6 months to almost 2 weeks. So whilst there are a number of opportunities in PropTech, there are of course barriers to technology adoption which we need to address. Digital transformation is no small task. So what are these barriers? I believe psychology is one of the biggest barriers to adoption. Fundamentally, people are a barrier, but we are also the driving force for change. And if the last 7 months has taught us anything, we have to adapt fast and get used to the uncertainty and working in a different way. So what do I mean by psychology? There are several aspects to this challenge. With over 700 PropTech companies in the UK alone and 7,000 to 8,000 globally, that can be quite overwhelming for a property company who is trying to understand how technology can help them and how to identify the right companies to work with. Having choice is great, but having too much choice can be debilitating. Barry Schwartz demonstrates this in the paradox of choice here. Secondly, as human beings, most of us are risk adverse. We would rather not lose $5 than to find $5, as Mike Delphi has said. I believe that there is a perceived risk to investing in technology. However, not long gone are the days where you would invest in IBM and have to stay with that technology for 10 years. Technology is evolving, it's becoming nimble, it's becoming interoperable, and no longer is it a huge investment. The PropTech industry has adapted business models to make sure that what they're offering is fit for the industry and is easy to adopt. In addition, it requires a company shift in terms of the culture. We need to get people used to working in a way that it uses technology and is part of the core processes and the systems that they use. That said, there are also many challenges in terms of the infrastructure around property technology. Although there are vast amounts of data that are being used, and the PropTech industry is making use of the data, particularly around location and geospatial, actually, most of the data that's been created has only been created in the last 2 years. This makes it extremely difficult for companies to be able to understand which data they should be collecting and how to maximise the value from that data. Companies need to have a clear data strategy first in order to truly maximise the value of the data and reap the benefits of PropTech. Secondly, we need to make sure that we have the right skills in place to be able to use the technology. Whilst we have heads of innovation or heads of future proofing working for property companies, actually the education system is lagging behind. So university courses and training schemes need to think about embedding technology into those and making students and graduates aware of PropTech as a sector in order for the property industry to thrive and really benefit from the technical advances that are happening now. So just to summarise, appreciate I'm running out of time. The UK is a strong hub for PropTech with 10% of the market and has huge backing from government, which means that there's lots more opportunities for growth in the UK. That said, we have a number of national challenges, which I've mentioned, some of which are not unique to the UK at all. Actually, COVID has accelerated these problems that we face and accelerated trends. PropTech industry is huge with over 700 companies. However, there are still several barriers that we need to overcome for the industry to truly thrive and to adopt digital transformation. Thank you very much.
It's a pity that we are a bit behind schedule, and that's why there will be no time for questions to you. But anyone who would like to ask questions to Sammy Pahal, the Managing Director of UK PropTech Association, can either approach her in the chat or via LinkedIn. You have her LinkedIn profile posted in the chat, so you can connect with her.